Real Virginia is produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Farming, it's all good. Visit our website at vafarmbureau.org.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce all of the wonderful products we enjoy.
Hard cider is the latest beverage craze to feature Virginia farm products. If you've got a gardener on your gift list, Chris Mullins has some great ideas for you. And many Virginians no longer have to wait till spring to enjoy local foods from a farmer's market.
Welcome back everyone. We raise a lot of apples in Virginia. In fact, it's about 200 million pounds. And some of those apples are being processed now into something a little bit more traditional than just applesauce.
Apples, delicious for snacks, making apple pie, apple sauce, and hard apple cider. While hard cider production is still a niche market, the rise in U.S. sales is eye-opening. The top 10 alcoholic cider brands in the U.S. collectively grew by 62% in 2012, according to Impact Databank, which tracks statistics for wine, beer, and spirits industry. And Virginia farmers and cider makers are taking advantage of an opportunity to bring back this drink with a lot of history to it. Artisanal cideries throughout Virginia are producing ciders from dry to sweet, still or sparkling. Thomas Jefferson's champagne-like cider made with Hughes crab apples was his table drink. Throughout the 19th century, crafting cider from cider apples was an integral part of every community.
Man, woman, and child, slave and free, everyone was drinking cider until it was gone, and then they were all waiting patiently for the next apple crop to come in. Brewing was not really a staple of Virginia cuisine for quite a while. And the beers that were made here were fruit beers, persimmon beer, spruce beer, things that we don't really associate with brewing today.
While hard cider has been mass-produced for years, more craft ciders are making their way back to consumers' tables. Courtney Mailey started Blue Bee Cider in Richmond in 2010. When she opened her doors, there were only 2 cideries in Virginia. Today, there are 11, and the number is growing.
For most of that time, it has been mass-produced ciders that have been driving the growth, but Wall Street Journal has declared that mass-produced cider is starting to level, and craft cider, so the premium and super premium ciders, are really what are driving the future growth of the cider industry in the U.S. And that's what we make, our premium and super premium products.
Blue Bee Cider is the state's only urban cidery, but Mailey expects more to follow her lead.
We do 3 tours a day when we're open, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and at least once every weekend someone on the tour says, hey, I'm going to be your next competitor, I want to be the next urban cidery. And I was like, great, you know, that's great. I welcome you. I want you to try and do that, but just understand that it's my job to make it look easy.
Blue Bee has a tasting room in Richmond, but uses apples from trees on leased land in Nelson County to make ciders. Mailey says their ciders are made from apples only, pressed and fermented in large bags placed in cardboard containers. The fermenting fruit juice is checked often until it meets with the cider maker's approval.
We crush the apples. Then once we have the juice, it's a white wine making process. So I'm a white wine maker. I just use apples instead of grapes. Some apples will ferment very quickly. They could be done in 2 weeks. We have other apples that just take a long time. So I have one apple right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to take 2 months for it to finish its ferments.
There are as many different varieties of cider as there are apples. Some creative choices at Blue Bee Cidery include the Hop Sap Shandy, which is infused with hops, the Mill Race Bramble with blackberries and raspberries, and the Fanfare with wild mulberries, while the Rocky Ridge Reserve is aged in fruit brandy barrels. For more information on the growing Virginia cider movement, go to virginia.org/cider.
Apples are a showcase crop for Virginia farmers. There are 733 apple orchards in the Old Dominion, and the majority are smaller than 15 acres. The apple processing industry has been shrinking for years, but Virginia is still the 6th largest apple producing state in the nation. Apple production is found mostly in the western areas of the state, especially the northern Shenandoah Valley. Virginia apple growers collect approximately $31 million from fruit sales each year, and the variety of apples raised for consumers continues to blossom as growers specialize for both the fresh fruit market and processing.
Hi, we're going to be looking at some tools that will make your life easier and make you a better gardener from the ground up. Please stay tuned.
The farm has been in the family for 134 years. This has been my home. It's the only thing I've known.
Growing up on a dairy farm was great. You've got all the opportunities to have fun in the wide open spaces and enjoy working with the crops and the cattle, and it was a good way of growing up. I really enjoyed it.
I believe that the family farm is important in this country, no matter if it's 50 cows or 5,000 cows. A lot of the family farms consume their own products and they realize the importance of having a good, healthy product.
I am proud that our family and all of us here at this farm at Walkup can be involved in producing nutritious milk for the society. I'm Dan Myers, a 5th generation dairy farmer from Virginia. I am dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
Have you gotten the perfect gift for your favorite gardener yet? Chris Mullins has some suggestions for tools that will really improve the gardening experience from the ground up.
Well, hello, welcome to Virginia State's Randolph Farm today. We're here talking about tools. You know, a gardener loves their tools, and a good tool can really help make a great gardener. And this time of the year, as you're thinking about gifts maybe for people during the holidays, I think tools can be a really nice present. Today we're here with Charles House. Charles is with waycooltools.com. Is that right?
That's right.
And I got your catalog here, really nice selection of things in here. And so you all do mostly specialty type tools, interesting tools. And I see a couple here, pretty interesting things, kind of a pick type tool, right?
That's right. This is a mini pick. It's got some weight to it, and that weight works to your advantage. It's a great tool for chopping, for breaking through roots, for breaking up heavy soil and planting. It's got a good pick that's just a really great all-round tool, even for dealing with rock gardens and things like that.
Yeah.
And this is its baby sister, the featherweight mini pick. It's really a lightweight tool.
Wow.
A lot of ladies like this. Yeah. It's a great tool for container gardening, for planting, for putting in your container plants. It's an all-round great tool and can be used for a lot of the same things that the mini pick is used for chopping and cutting and digging in that regard.
I like these. What are some other stocking stuffers you might have?
Well, stocking stuffers, one stocking stuffer is the famed Lesche digging tool. It's got a greater amount of leverage because of the offset design. And it's got serrated teeth for cutting through roots. It's a great tool for digging out dandelion roots, for using as a planting tool. This is a really great tool. It's been featured in the Wall Street Journal. It's used in many gardens around the country. A lot of professional gardeners use this tool.
I love this. It's got its own case with it, so you can just put it on your belt and carry it around the garden. That's a good one there.
It's a great tool. I use it all the time.
All right. What else you got as far as, how about pruners for people?
Well, we've got a ratcheting pruner. This is a real great ratcheting pruner. Whatever fits between the jaws, this will cut, and it breaks it up into little incremental. I've got a little branch here. It breaks it up into small incremental pieces. So you squeeze it and hold it, and then when you let go, it'll make a click, and then you just squeeze it again, and it'll cut the rest of the way through. So where you would normally need to kind of wrench your way through a cut, and a lot of people get carpal tunnel syndrome, and this is the kind of tool that alleviates the stress of pruning.
Well, I bet I can just tell by that ratcheting action, it could really take even a bigger piece there and go through it pretty easily.
It can.
I love that. These are some really good hand type tools. for people in the garden. But I think you've got some bigger ones, don't you, that we can look at?
Yes, we do.
Charles, you know, we're always out here cultivating hoes to get weeds out and things like that, to knock things down. And they're kind of wood-handled, puny kind of hoes sometimes. This thing you've got here is pretty hefty, pretty neat looking. What is this?
Well, this is a version of the Italian grape hoe, and it's got the same type of contour as the Italian grape hoe does, with that little curve in the handle, but it goes a little further up on this. The handle it's much higher. It keeps you standing up rather than leaning over as with the older versions. There's also a gusseted head on it that doesn't wobble like a lot of the old style hoes had, where the head slides down on the handle. So it really puts a lot of your force into it. You can sharpen these things up to a razor sharp edge, and it just really makes quick work of you know, clearing an area, removing sod. Can I chop this?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can. I mean, it's real easy just to kind of knock large plants down. You can knock tree saplings down with it. A lot of people use these to clear like a woodland path. It's all around great tool. You can use it for digging with. You can actually dig holes with it. You know, rough in bed edges.
Yeah,
it's
I
grading.
Like this. This is a tough hoe. It's all metal, almost all one piece, so it's going to be real strong and durable.
Yep.
I like that a lot. I'm also liking what you've got up here in front. Now, a lot of people don't know what that is, and over the last few years, I've kind of realized myself what they are. But tell me, what is this thing?
This is a broad fork. It's a European influence, and basically what you've got, they call it a U-bar digger. It's another word for it, and it's got two handles, as you can see, and basically the way to use it is you put a little weight on it and rock it. It sinks down into the soil, you pull back, and cultivate your bed in that way. Once you get going, everything in front of it is loosened, and it becomes easier to do. And even in heavy compacted soil, you can go about a foot a minute, even in really, really hard clay. You can also use it to chop with, to loosen the soil. And what we've discovered is with the use of a broad fork, as compared to rotary tilling, like with a tiller, is the soil stays friable and uncompacted for a longer time.
Might not get as much compaction at the top and things like that using a broad fork.
That's right. When you loosen the soil, that whole area inside where the fork is loosened stays loose for considerably longer.
And I see you've got a few different models here, so they come in different widths, different numbers of tines.
That's right. We've got a 5-tine, a 6-tine, and a 7-tine fork. You can go anywhere from about 18 inches to 30 inches in your bed width.
I like it. I like it. So a durable tool, one that can do some really good tillage work there.
It's great.
Now, one of the things that gardeners deal with so much are weeds. Now, I know you've got a different way to deal with weeds. Why don't we go find out what that is right now?
Okay.
All right. Well, Charles, weeding is difficult. People hate it. They hate to do it. And so what's an alternative way to get rid of weeds in the garden?
Well, flame weeding is been used for the last over a century, and it's very effective.
Why would somebody flame weed maybe instead of using a hoe? Or what's the biggest advantage, I guess?
Well, one of the biggest advantages is when you're using the hoe, you're digging up more seeds, and more seeds are going to germinate. It's just the way life is. This doesn't disturb the soil. It'll kill the weeds, and any seeds that are on the surface, it'll destroy those as well.
Well, I see here we've got a propane cylinder with a backpack and a wand. That's a kind of a larger model than most people would need. And I think you sell some larger ones too.
That's right.
Even bigger than that.
That's right. We even have agricultural size equipment, but this is good for larger areas. This is good for spot weeding.
I like that one.
And it runs off of a 1-pound propane cylinder. They're real lightweight, easy to use, and it's very safe. You're not burning. You're just heating the leaf surface to the point where it can no longer grow, and your job is done. You haven't dug up any new weed seeds.
Well, Charles, you know, today you've really showed us some great tools, a lot of good things for people to think about, some cool things that they maybe haven't seen or will try in the future. Well, for more information about tools, you can contact your local county extension office, and you can talk to your master gardener there and find out what some of their favorite tools are. Well, for From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
Looking to put a personal touch on your next holiday meal? Caressa Jackson says this dish from the heart of the home is so easy and delicious to boot. Stay with us. Dazzling lights on winter nights will put you in the mood for the holiday season. It's the Illuminate Light Show in Santa's Village at the Meadow Event Park November 14th through January 3rd in Caroline County. This spectacular drive-through holiday lighting event takes travelers through a musical show of color, lights, and design. Giant animated holiday displays and illuminated trees lead to Santa's Village, where families can visit Santa Claus and enjoy the sights and magic of Christmas. To learn more, go to illuminatelightshow.com.
Cranberries are one of the few foods that aren't produced in Virginia, but boy, they're the perfect complement to a Virginia turkey. Miss America 2010 Caressa Jackson has the homemade recipe for cranberry sauce in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Caressa Jackson for Heart of the Home here at the kitchen at the Meadow Event Park. One of my holiday favorites is cranberry sauce, but a lot of times when I get to go to a family member's house, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get real, authentic cranberry sauce or if I'm going to get the stuff in the can. Now, there's no problem with the stuff in the can, but there's a really simple and easy fresh cranberry recipe that you can use to go with whatever holiday meat that you're serving. This recipe I like to call cranberry in a cup, because all you need is a half a bag of cranberries and then 1 cup of ingredients. So it's really, really easy to remember. So we're gonna start off with 1/4 cup of orange juice in a saucepan that's heated to medium, 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup of regular granulated sugar, and 1/4 cup of light or dark brown sugar, whichever you prefer. And we're going to mix all of those together. And then we're going to add a little bit of orange zest to taste. You can get some in your spice aisle at your local grocery store, or you can do it fresh from an actual orange peel. I like to just put a little in the palm of my hand and add it to the recipe. Once your sugar is completely dissolved, you're going to take half bag of cranberries. This is a half of a 12-ounce bag, so this is about 6 ounces of cranberry. And you're going to add them to your mixture. All right. I want to make sure they're all covered. And this is the easy and fun part. You go ahead and you just cover your mixture, and then what's going to happen is these cranberries are actually going to start to explode. You're going to hear the popping sound, and the pulp is going to come out, and you're going to get a really rich red flavor, and you're going to start to smell the aroma of the cranberry. You want to leave this on medium heat for about 10 minutes, and then once you realize that all of your cranberries have popped, what we're going to do is let it cool, and then we will refrigerate it for service. All right, once you've noticed that your mixture has come to a boil and all of your cranberries have popped open, we want to go ahead and reduce it to low heat. For those of you who like a cranberry sauce that's in more of a jelly form, at this point you could go ahead and add some dry pectin to it as well. It has a nice rich red flavor. The aroma is amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut it off and we're going to let it cool for about 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to go ahead and put it in the refrigerator in an airtight container. You can choose to use just regular Tupperware, or if you have a mason jar or something like that that you want to put it in, you can do that as well. Let it cool for about an hour and then it's ready to serve. All right, now that we've let our cranberry sauce cool, it's ready to serve. I've chosen to use roasted chicken as what I'm going to eat my cranberry sauce with, and it's going to be extremely delicious. So here you have it, a cup and cranberry sauce. I'm Caressa Jackson for Heart of the Home. Come and get it.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org.
We all want healthy rivers and streams, but we can't do that without help from Virginia's landowners. Resource Management Plans, or RMPs, are part of a voluntary program that helps farmers get credit for cleaning up our waters. And once you have an RMP, You are exempt from any new water quality requirements for 9 years. The Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation has funds available to help you implement these plans. Contact the department today to learn more. Thank you.
This message sponsored by Virginia's agriculture community.
Just a few years ago, your local farmers market was probably an empty lot during the winter months. But as Dave Miller reports, more and more farmers are braving the cold to bring consumers their favorite local foods.
The Delray Market in Alexandria is one of several farmers markets in Northern Virginia that remain open year-round. No matter how wintry the weather, customers still come every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. to buy foods and produce. The market is so successful that every week they get inquiries from potential new vendors.
This is a really good market. The community really supports it. As you can see, here's one of our coldest days of the year and people are packed. So you're around our meats. We have sausages, we have chickens, we have rabbits, we have all sorts of different kinds of meats. We have pickles, we have all sorts of bakery goods, we have donuts, we have scones, we have, just every kind of bakery. In the winter, you tend to get a little bit more prepared foods, i.e. homemade soups and stuff along that line, as opposed to produce.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture says Virginia has nearly 250 farmers markets, making it one of the top 10 states in the nation for this popular, natural shopping style. Luke Shlagel travels about half an hour to the Delray Market each week. He sells mainly produce, but has other reasons for traveling to the city with his wares. Luke forms relationships with his customers, and many have actually visited his farm.
I'm here year-round, yes. I might miss some weeks in the winter when everything's froze up, but as long as I have something to sell, I will keep coming. There's still good stuff to be found at farmers markets. My personal favorite, I like the sweet potatoes, just because, who doesn't like sweet potatoes? Brown sugar and butter and you're set. Nice, easy dessert.
This is not just shopping, this is a social event. Buyers exchange recipes with each other and ask questions about how the food is raised and produced. The market features a lot of fresh fruit year-round, in addition to seasonal vegetables.
When you go to the grocery store, your apples have come probably from a long distance away. They've been in transit for a long time. So the taste difference, the texture difference is enormous. We also use our fruit to make a number of jarred products using family recipes, so that's unique. And you're also getting the experience of coming to the farmer's market, which is immensely sociable. And you get to see a face that's connected with your food.
Vendors from Western Virginia, South Side, Maryland, and even Pennsylvania come back year after year, and organizers try to recruit sellers with a variety of products, even during the winter months.
We have a different variety of farmers that come in the wintertime versus the summertime because of the produce, because everything here is locally grown. The people that are behind the tables are the ones that are growing it, or producing it, or whatever. For example, we have a cheese guy that comes in from the Amish community in Pennsylvania, and he has cheese, he has yogurt, he has honey, he has homemade jams and jellies and all sorts of things like that.
The growing popularity of year-round markets only proves the personal touch continues to be one of the best ways for small producers to connect with consumers. In Alexandria, Virginia, I'm Dave Miller reporting.
That's going to do it for this edition of Real Virginia. We're so glad you could join us to celebrate the bounty Virginia has to offer. Whether it's in your home, your garden, or your landscape, we are proud to say that this is Real Virginia. So for everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a good week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay.